Selamat petang, apa khabar semua? Vanakkam Sastrikal, Namaste to all of you. It's been a long time, and yesterday was one of those days that I was telling you that I will share my hospital experience with you when I get a little better. So, Harini, it was the first time that I took a proper shower after a long time. So, it was good, and I was able to do that because my wounds are healing pretty well now. Okay, if you can scroll up, you will know that I started taking this black ginger, I think about 6 days ago, and there is a lot of difference in 6 days. My wounds are healing pretty well and pretty fast. So I am able to take a proper shower and pour water all everywhere, and really lather myself with soap. Yeah. So yeah, what is it that I actually wanted to tell you all is my unique experience in the hospital this time around. Okay, so I was summoned to the hospital on the 27th of this month. March. So I was supposed to check in on the 27th. I got a call on the 26th. The nurses wanted me to check in and go for my PCR test and check in immediately. So I did all that, and I was in the hospital on the 27th on Sunday. So 28 was scheduled for my my surgery. So 28 I was all waiting for my time for surgery. I was the second patient. So after the surgery, I was back. It was, I think, I went in about 2:30. I came out about 7ish. So it was a pretty long, nearly 5.5 hours to 6 hours surgery. So by the time I came out, was already 7:45, 8. And the next day, I was like in a lot of pain. So I was on morphine. So the doctor said, each time you feel pain, you just press. So I kept pressing. And then on top of it, I also had 2 other pain medications plus Panadol. So what happened was I was actually in a daze pretty much. I don't really know what was happening around me. All I know is like I was walking in cloud 9. I was in cloud 9. So first day was like basically in the bed, on the bed. So I was in a lot of pain. I shut down my phone for almost 2 weeks because the pain was so terrible. I didn't want to talk to anybody. So Mr. Murthy and all that wanted to come and visit me, but I said no, because I really cannot sit up, or neither did I have energy to talk. So what happened was, on the third day of my surgery, there was this lady who checked into our ward. Yeah. So on the third day, I'm supposed to actually walk. So because we don't want the blood clot to happen, so my doctor said, I want you to try and walk because we don't want blood clot, and I have varicose veins. So I said I will try. Then he said, why are you looking so moody? You should cheer up. At least we repaired your tear. Your tear was very big, and so look on the positive side. But I wanted to be positive, but it's just that I couldn't. I was like in a daze. I'll tell you why later. I myself didn't know why I was feeling like that, but actually it was because of the anesthesia. I'll share with you shortly. So what happened then was, on the third day, nurses hold me, and I had to get up and walk and make at least 2-3 steps. So the nurses took off my catheter, so I had to go to the toilet. So each time I go to the toilet, they will help me to the toilet. So this lady was actually, her bed was just adjacent to the toilet. So each time I go to the toilet, I have to pass her by, So this lady was in her probably late 50s, early 60s. Okay. So because I was in so much of in a daze, because of the anesthesia, I didn't want to talk or make an eye contact with anyone, guys, really. I mean, this is the first time I've been very antisocial, because normally I'm very friendly, I at least have the energy to smile at somebody. But this time around, I was like, I didn't want to have an eye contact with anyone, fearing that they will ask me what's wrong and things like that, and I didn't have the energy to even stand and talk to them. So what I did is like I didn't want to have eye contact. So, but being polite, I just looked up and I just nodded and I went off to the toilet. And I could see she wanted to talk, but she couldn't because I didn't give her a chance. I didn't have the energy, guys. Okay, so that happened 2 days, and each time I went there were lots of um, students, and the doctors were all around her bed. So I didn't. Like I said, I didn't have the energy to talk to her. So, but I knew she was a case study, just like me. 20 over years ago, when I had interstitial cystitis, I was also the case study. So I know quite a bit of what goes around the hospital because I've been in and out of hospital for some time, or many times, and so I knew that she was one of the case studies. So they were asking her questions about her throat, her nose, and things like that. So I knew it was pretty nasty lah, but she didn't look it, she was pretty fine and looking okay. So what happened was that went on, and then what, the next day, that means on the 5th day, I was going to the toilet. I was trying myself to go to the toilet on my own, and so she was telling me, "You're going off? Okay, bye." So she was telling me, "Can I ask you something?" I said, "Yeah." Then she said, "Oh, no. She said, the first thing she said was, "Hey, today you look so much better. You are very lively compared to yesterday." And I was like thinking to myself, this lady is so kind. And I was like, "Thank you so much." I just could only have energy to say thank you to her, just thank you. And I gave her a smile, and I walked in to the toilet, and I came out, and I have to carry my blood, the kind of a kidney when you go for the urinal, that urinal bag. So it wasn't a urinal bag, it was a blood. It's a bag where you collect all the blood after you drain the blood after the operation. So she said, "Can I ask you something?" I said, "Yeah." When I came out, she said, "Can I ask you something?" I said, "Yeah." "Can I know what is that?" I said, "Well, this is to collect all my blood." And I politely told her, like, "If you don't mind, I can't stand. I can't really stand. I'm very dizzy. So if you want to ask me more, maybe you can come to my bed." She said, Yeah, okay. And go. She said, go to your bed, no problem. And then she came to my bed and she asked me, "May I know what's wrong with you?" And I told her what's wrong with me. And then she said, "I am scheduled for appointment, for my operation today." She said today, but later in the afternoon. I said, well, all the best. I said all the best, and I just kept quiet. Then I saw her getting ready, because I go to the urinals quite often, right? To the toilet quite often. And so I saw her white color baju with the cap. So they are ready. Actually, it's getting ready for operation lah. So then she was wheeled out and into the operation theatre, out of the ward. So then the next minute, I know it was very late. It was about 7 something, 8. And I looked at her bed. She wasn't there. Normally operations don't last that long. So I'm like, oh. Then I looked at it, 9 o'clock. No, she wasn't there. And 10 o'clock, wasn't there. And I felt a little sad. Next day at 4, I went to the toilet in the morning, 4 a.m. and she wasn't there. And that went on right up to 10 a.m. and I've been looking over and she wasn't there. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what's happened to her, And then I started praying, God, please, because I've never met somebody so positive in my operation in the ward ever. She was like smiling and so full of energy and all that. I knew she had something quite serious, so I admired her positivity, And what happened? Then the whole day, it was from 4 a.m., 10 a.m., 3 a.m., and that went on for 2 days. And I don't know her, guys, but I never prayed so hard for a stranger before in my life. So I started praying and said, Lord, please help this lady. I don't know what's wrong with her. Then I thought she was something serious or she was in a deathbed. Then when I looked, something just triggered, right, a light bulb moment where her things were still there, which means maybe she's in ICU. She's not dead yet. So I'm like, oh God, please don't let her die. And I'm praying so hard, guys, for somebody whom I don't know. I'm praying. And finally, on the fourth day, they wheel her in. I'm like, wow, I'm so happy to see her. I was so happy. I was so happy to see her. And I tell you, the joy, it was even greater than my own operation to see her. So we didn't talk to each other because I was also in pain. So I didn't meet her. Then she walked to my place and she said, you know what happened to me? I was in ICU. And then she was telling me that on her right, there was somebody dying from cancer, pulling all the tube. There was another person also with cancer, and she said, uh, I was sent to the ICU because my when they incubated her, when they put the anesthetic, I think somehow or other they were scared they punctured her voice box, so they had to keep her to observe. So that's why she was there for 4 days. And then she said, but I thank God that I'm okay and I want to be discharged soon. So I'm hoping that the doctor will discharge me by tomorrow. And I'm like, oh, I hope I also get discharged by tomorrow. She said, no, I've been watching you, and your blood is not as much as before. I said, yeah. I was still, guys, in a lot of pain. I just didn't want to talk, but in my heart I was so joyful that I saw her, but I just didn't tell her. I just knew the outburst of joy just to see her. Then I just said, I've been praying for you and I'm so happy to see you again. And then she said, thank you for praying. And then she said, may I sit down? I said, yeah, sure. So she sat down and she told me, I've gone through a lot in my life. I had actually cancer of the brains, and then it went to my throat, and I can't now swallow anything because the cancer is now behind my throat through my mouth. And guess what? She said, when doctors did my operation, they scoped my stomach and they now say that I've got some kind of cyst growing there, like an ulcerative cyst, which is, they say, will lead to cancer. But right now it's not cancer yet, but it will lead to cancer. And she said my father died of old age, 90 plus, but my mom, she is a cancer survivor. Doctor gave her 6 months, but she's still alive after 3 years. And she's 98 years old and I'm taking care of her. Then I'm like, wow. And I was like, you are so positive. How come you are so positive? I told her. She said, well, I'm not really a positive person, but I want to train myself to be positive, because she says we are all organic. Okay, this is the lesson, guys, that I wanted to tell you. She said we are all organic. We are dying day by day. Yeah, and she said that if I think too much, whatever that the doctor said about my stomach cancer, it will freak me out. So I said, then how do you think positive then? She said, because I know eventually I'm organic and I have to die, and so I just enjoy every bit of the life that I have now. So I'm like, true enough, fair enough, And she said, if I were to think so much about my health, then I will forget to live the best out of today. And every day I train myself and tell myself I'm organic creature and I will also soon pass away. And so in that way, I enjoy every moment of my day that God has given me. And when I die, then I will be at peace. I won't freak out so much. And that was a lesson that I learned, because now I tell you why whatever that she told me impacted me so much was, a strong lady raised me when I was 13 years old. And my children today tell me that I'm so much like her, because the strong lady who raised me, when I was 13 years old. She adopted me and she raised me. And she was actually an ex-nun. So she was very, she was raised, I suppose, in a convent also. So she was very strict about, when you brush your teeth, you off your tap, you don't waste water. So lately, and everything that she taught me is also part of me. So I become a perfectionist to some extent, very much like her. So if people did something, I would, let's say if they go to the kitchen, or my maid goes to the kitchen and wash, I will have to go and check on it, because I just fear that she did not do something and she would have misplaced something, or was careless with something, or never off the gas or what. So I always want to double check. So and I realized that whatever her character is was rubbing on me. So and I knew that from beginning, but because there was so much of positivity in her attitude, so I thought it was very positive, to have these good values in my life, because I was always uh, very careful of how I spend God's resources. Let's say water, I would not waste water. Even if water drips, she fuss about it, But I'm not her extreme lah, because she won't let me pull the dining chair. I have to lift it up, but I'm not that strict. But a lot of things, like she said, off the water tap when you're brushing your teeth, when you're putting soap in your body, you don't have to leave the tap on. You think about those who don't have water and all that. So it's there, it's still there. It is. And I always want to do things on my own, uh, because I thought I did a better job than someone else. And lately, she had to go through a surgery, and I went to actually care for her. And at that stage where she still insisted of taking water from the washing machine, the third rinse, and to wash the veranda. I'm like, enough already, you're 70 over. There's something that you have to loosen up. Okay, because I'm not extreme. As I said, I'm not at extreme, because there are certain things that I would not do, but the perfectionist and that watchful, and that the zealousness of herself, of her character, as to let's not waste water, and let's try and use that, and do so much without wastage, uh, is a good character. But what I learned from this lady in the ward is, like, you have to let go. So after this surgery, like, it was a massive surgery, right? As I told you, 100 over stitches in my tummy. It wasn't nice. It doesn't look nice either. So, but what I'm just saying is this: I now learn to. It's okay for my house to be messy, a little, not ultra messy lah, but no need to be so perfect, because we are all aging and we don't want to overwork ourselves. And it's okay to forgive yourself if your house is not a museum. It's supposed to be a little messy because people live there. So yeah, so it's like things that I am learning, which what she said was true. We are organic, we are dying every day, and we want to live the best we can. And it's time to let go. Time, because we think we are indispensable, but we are. We literally, if today we die, tomorrow God will replace us in no time. So sometimes we just need to let go. So what I decided is, like, okay, I'm going to let go, because our doctor told me I cannot be carrying pails and things like that anymore. So probably I'll saw a maid to come once a week at least to clean up the house, because I'm actually alone with my husband, because our children are all not staying with us for the time being. So once a week should be fair enough lah. So yeah, those days before the surgery, I was like, I could do a better job than the maid, but now I want to let go. Okay, so every day is a day that God gives us to to be more spiritual, to be less frantic over so many things that in our life, like, oh, I have to do this, I have to make it perfect, I have to do this. Without me, nobody can do a better job than me. That attitude has to go. So I'm unlearning. It's time to unlearn few things and learn a few more other things. It's okay to let go. It's okay to mellow down. It's okay to have someone else do the chore, which is not perfect, but it's okay lah. You don't have to injure yourself doing it. Yeah? So yeah, I had to learn that. My son called me up, the elder one and the younger one, and said, "Ma, it's time for you to rest because you're always not resting." I said, "Yeah." So God has this way of telling us to slow down, yeah, and maybe more in prayer. Now, that is what I learned about this whole journey with this lady. What I learned was I never thought that I would pray for somebody so, like, every minute second I'm thinking of her and praying for her. Every minute second, guys. I didn't even pray that much for my own surgery, but this lady, I don't know her, but I was just so passionate about her spirit, and she was discharged the next day itself. So from somebody who came out from ICU, was discharged the next day, and it was the same day that I was also discharged, surprisingly. So yeah, so moral of the story is time to let go, guys. We are all aging, and it's time to mellow down. And yes, God can replace us. We are not indispensable. Yeah, and every day learn to smile, learn to take a breather, learn to take your supplements. As long as we are on this earth, it is always good to take care of ourselves. We can do what we can do. The rest is in God's hand. Even the black ginger, there are some who take 1 pill and 2 pills and their sugar level is great. For me, I didn't see any difference after the 7th month or so, or 8th month or so. I was, it's not, what I'm saying, guys, is this. As I've already told you all, I'm going to share a lot of information here with you all. Some of it is just how to live a healthy life. It not necessarily just be black ginger. Here in this group, we want to encourage each other. We want to talk about other supplements too that we need to take. This is not all it. God is in control. And but this is very good supplement, guys. I told you I've been in a lot of supplements, but this to me is super supplement. And I'm O group. O group, they say it's very difficult to cure people with O group because we've got the strongest ancestral group. So that's why those people with diabetes, find it with this. Still, 1 year they have been in it, still they think that their sugar level is high. But alongside with it also takes other food supplements, like how you eat your food, how you take your carbohydrate, protein, all that. So that's what I want to share in this group, guys. So I want to share a lot of information we can learn together. We can, whatever you can accept, you accept. Whatever you can't, it's okay, just leave it be. But one thing I really think is that today I took a shower. I'm healing very well, and I don't have to lie for 25 ringgit. And even then, the 25 ringgit, pairing money, it has to come together with the other side. So why would I want to lie for 25 ringgit? I mean, it is ridiculous. But I'm sharing from my heart. This one actually heals me pretty fast. Doctor said after the 45th day, probably you can see that this wound is healing and you can take a shower. But it's 28 was my surgery, so count lah, you all do the calculation. So I'm healing pretty fast, and I do believe that I have a very sluggish metabolic rate, sluggish mitochondria. So with this one, I find it has helped me tremendously, and I will never stop, guys. I know a lot of our agents here, they think that Lazada, Shopee, all people are buying from there. They get all the info from me, but they buy there. I don't care. I really don't care. If you want to get info from me, it's okay. What you are healthier. You found something that will help you. A good supplement that it's also very good for your mitochondria, for your red blood cells. So for me, I don't mind, because I it's not about money. My whole idea is that you supplement well, you live well, while you still, God give you the energy. Okay, sometimes you take, you still die. Okay, because we all have got a fate, isn't it? Death of birth, day of birth. So there's nothing we can do about it, but as long as we live, we can take care of ourselves by eating well and supplementing well. Okay, so that's what I want to do. So if whoever who becomes an agent and then wants to buy from Lazada or Shopee, it's okay for me. It's okay for me. So I hope that all of us here will continue. I'm not going to stop sharing this product lah. That's one thing that I will do. You know why? Because I know this product is good. I'll keep on sharing this product. You know, I may not be able to heal everyone, because healing is in the hands of God, but at least they can try something good for themselves to let their own immune system heal themselves. Okay, so that is what I wanted to share. So for those agents here who are this, what do you call, no more mood lah, demotivated to continue to do this sharing of this black ginger, I think you should rethink your reason to want to share this product. Is it just about money, or is it something, a blessing that you want to do to others, for others before you die? You know, but you have to be downright clear with them. It's not a miracle cure, but it's a good supplement to help your body heal, your own natural doctor in your body to heal. But sometimes when you need that healing to happen, you need good supplements. If you go to Sensei always tells you one thing: oh, your chi is no good, your blood circulation. They always go for blood circulation. Why? Because it's like a pipe, you know, when you have that, you know, high pressure water pump, when you wash your drain is clear. But if you have a very sluggish water pipe, you will see your plaques all in sticking onto your arteries, you know, and even your intestines. I mean, yeah, so water is important. Good supplementation for your blood, what you call, circulation is important for your nerves. Then move. When you have good energy, your powerhouse, you will move more. When you move more, your lymph nodes move more. Your lymph nodes are like the filter power station to filter everything, right? So yeah, it's that's why I'm saying, I know this one helps. I will not in any way stop. Healing is not in my hands, it is in God's hands, but I would still recommend those who know me to have this. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to recommend black ginger to her because I was still in cloud 9. What happened was that I was discharged, and then I had to go back to the hospital because they ruptured my, you know, my throat. They bruised it, so I was having infection here. So like, I was really not myself for a longest time. You know, I've even told Mr. Seelan and my Mamaji, I was like, I'm in the lowest. I'm at my lowest. I feel really, really low, you know. So yeah, I'm an open book, guys, as most of you know. I'm an open book, nothing to hide. So if I'm at my lowest, I will just admit that I'm at my lowest. So that is what beauty of a life is, to tell the truth. And please don't do anything with ulterior motives. Oh, I want people to buy, so I'm going to lie about all this. No, definitely not. Money can come in many other ways. You don't have to lie through your teeth to earn money. All right. So with that, I hope all of you will rethink. For those of you who are demotivated, rethink. It may not help you, but it might help somebody else. You know, because we don't know what nutrition you need to heal, but we definitely know everybody needs mitochondria powerhouse, isn't it? Isn't it? Do your research. Yeah, what does black ginger do for you? All right. So alongside with other nutrition, this is one thing that everyone should take. All right, but don't lie about it. Be truthful about it, and rethink your value. Rethink your reason for doing the black ginger, and then you will be happy, and then it will not bother you even if they buy from Lazada or Shopee, as long as they get well. Okay, with that, thank you. Oh, I didn't speak in Malay, but I think this is simple English that I spoke, so I hope all of you understand. Kalau tak faham, bagi tahu saya akan, atau call saya akan bagi tahu apa yang saya cakap dalam tadi. Ya, I think all of you pandai lah, boleh faham. Kalau tak faham, call aja, I bagi tahu ya. Alright, with that, thank you and God bless you, and selamat berbuka puasa kepada all my Malay Muslim friends in this group. Okay, ciao, God bless.